speaker of the day is Dr. Vasavvi Acharjya, an early childhood educationist with over 24 years of experience. She is the founder and managing director of Inner Eye Foundation Private Limited and the Different Petals Preschool chain, as well as the founder chairperson of the ECDF Early Childhood Development Forum, a global initiative promoting ECCE, a TEDx speaker, an author, a passionate trainer. She is a frequent speaker at national and international platforms. She is the creator of the Peaceful Human Pedagogy. Today, she will be presenting on the topic Peaceful Humans, Cultivating a Culture for Peace.
Thank you so much for the introduction, and thank you, Elvira, for having us here today. It's a pleasure to host a mini conference at the Kipinas. We have visited last year in Jakarta, and it was a wonderful experience. I will be speaking a bit about peaceful humans, cultivating a culture of peace from early childhood. So, what concepts we have been talking about today, all the speakers who've spoken before me? It's about peace in the mind that Dr. Kathy talked about. Sustainability, that also comes. When we are peaceful, we are sustainable. We don't destroy, we conserve. But generally, as humans, how often do we talk about peace? We talk about other things, success, achievements. But how much do we talk about peace? That is one thing we need to think first. Would I tell my son that tomorrow be a happy and peaceful person? Or would I say, achieve and do this and do that? So we need to change our mindset when it comes to peace. It should be a part of our lives. So peace is not just the absence of war. When we say that, yeah, India is peaceful now. It was not till last month because we were in the verge of war. But when there is no war, it is peace. But it's not like that. Many times we are, cheating peace in many other ways by doing a lot of these activities which are not peaceful towards other human beings, towards ourselves, and towards the environment. So for me, I talk about the three kinds of peace: the inner peace, the peace in social life, and peace with the environment. First, we have to be peaceful with ourselves. The children need to know how to love themselves, to have the self-esteem, to have the confidence, to have empathy, compassion, love for one another, and so forth. And that actually goes towards cultivating peace with the people around us. Once I love myself, I am considerate about my own feelings. I consider my feelings, I label my feelings, and then I can understand the person in front of me and I can be more empathetic, more compassionate. And that is how we go about peace with environment. Nature is a part of our lives, and we can't do away with it. But as humans, we feel that we are more powerful. But it's all the time we are reminded that we can never surpass, and we should be respectful. We should honor each other, honor ourselves, and also honor nature. So for me, if peace was a person who was walking this earth, would be a patient listener and a proactive problem solver, an empathetic human being with an aware and altruistic mindset who is calm, collaborative and communicative, and ethical. So what happens in early childhood? We've heard from birth to the 8 years, 10 years, when children are developing the brain architecture and the neural pathways are formed. At that time, when the culture of peace is incorporated in their minds, be it understanding their own feelings, a lot of emotional self-regulation, a lot of understanding of each other, and honesty, tolerance, and all of it, they start to develop this as a part of their life. And when the brain architecture is forming, if we give them very negative kind of an environment, the mind actually stops building up those relationships, building up that, the kind of bonding that is required. Also, this period is very crucial for emotional self-regulation, like I already said, critical thinking, problem solving, collaborating, and communicating. So these are developed during these early years with the interaction with the environment, with the people around us, through our parents. So there are a lot of people who actually shape the child. It's not only the school. It's the environment, it's the parent, it's the overall community where the child is. And when we look at early years, so when we talk to parents about peace, they would say, how does it matter? What is peace? What is peace for my child? Well, when a child walks into a school, walks out of the comfort zone, there are a lot of triggers that they face. And those are challenges, not for us today, but when we were a child. I still remember a teacher coming to take my bag, and it was like my world. And I didn't want to give my bag, I didn't want to part away with it. And then maybe I was labeled as somebody who is a selfish child. But it's not about that. It's about understanding the child at that point. That bag was my only comfort zone because I'd come away from my mother. So there are a lot of triggers at that time, and when children start understanding these triggers by labeling their emotions, by understanding, we talk about the emotional thermometer. How are you feeling today? What is making you feel so happy? What is making you feel sad? The moment they start analyzing, they start understanding why are they angry, and the moment we start understanding the problem, we can deal with it. The only difficulty is when we do not understand the problem, we do not know how to deal with it. So once we know our triggers, once we know our stressors, we are able to deal with that, right? So I will not go into much depth about these because I do it while I do my trainings, and here I don't want to elaborate so much because we have just a 10-minute time. And when our children learn these skills of being mindful, having a positive attitude, respond and not react, deal with one another's feelings, learns to regulate, the outcomes are fantastic. The outcomes are the emotionally intelligent child, the problem solver, good decision maker, a resilient and a peaceful and kind human being. And when we look at the benefits, it's like, children, they learn an alternative to aggression. Children have a tendency to be aggressive because when somebody's taking your toy, they try to go and, snatch it back and everything. But when they know how to regulate the emotions, they start learning to be more peaceful. So they find an alternative to aggression or violence. They start recognizing the triggers, examine and control emotions. Now they can't do it themselves quickly. It has to be the facilitator who is near them, who is guiding them, through that emotion to deal with it. And recognize and express feelings and engage in peaceful mitigation, identify needs, and communicate, listen, take turns. All of this we do through the regular practices that we are having in our classroom. And they are understanding biases, and they have an enhanced self-esteem and overcome negative feelings. So when we talk about the 21st century skills that we so often talk about, it's like collaboration, communication, critical thinking, creativity, problem solving, social skills, global awareness, and leadership. When we talk about the Finnish education, it's more about leadership. It's collaboration over competition. So children, when we are peaceful, we don't compete, we collaborate. We try to be better than ourselves, not better than someone else. So how better we are tomorrow than what we are today, So that kind of feeling comes to their mind. And for that, there is an entire, thing that we can do. Dr. Kathy talked about the peace setup, a setup which is very, positive for the child's development. Optimally, it helps. And the school we saw yesterday, Miss Marion, and even Kipina, the kind of environment you have. Sometimes we miss this kind of schools in India because of the lack of space and too much of children. And I guess, so we need to set up a school which has these environments which are congenial and a lot of learning opportunities without clutter. No clutter and not too much of instruction, but a lot of self-engagement, exploratory play and engagement. The school climate, the facilitator's mindset first thing. Because when we talk about peace, we need to be peaceful. Now I can't be a chaotic person and talk about peace. So I need to emanate that kind of a feeling. My aura needs to be like that, and then only I will be able to teach peace to my children, and conflict resolution, and a lot of family involvement programs. So the curriculum that I talk about, basically we have the mindfulness practices, a lot of visual art, performing arts like dance, drama, music, storytelling, a very impactful tool to get across your message, and nature connection. So these are some of the glimpses where that is hugging the tree, the first picture. and this is in one of our schools in Tamilpur, which is very interior. And we were not even celebrating any environment day, but the child just ran to the tree and said, "Ma'am, I love this tree." And we talk about the forest baths, right? So there's a lot of positive energy from environment. We need to understand, we have lost that connection. And because we've lost that connection, we are very connected only to the material, but not to these sounds of nature and the messages that they keep giving us, And then there are different activities where they're doing group play, then there is storytelling, there is this Rakhi celebration, there's cross-culture. Rakhi is not our festival for the northeast of India, but it's about tolerance, loving each other's religion, respecting the animals, feeding, and all of that. And I have seen that children take an initiative in these activities. It's not like the teacher who pushes them out, but it's the child. And this is really, I feel, a lot of positive has happened from that. And the role of a peace educator, like I said, she needs to be unbiased, no gender biases in the classroom, call the classroom a peace realm. Everybody should be democratic, everybody should have a voice, and everybody should be listened. There should be a lot of communication, a lot of active learning, and allowing the children to think, make decisions, give them problems, and work out the problems, and not give the solutions directly. Now, when we make the children think, they are actually coming up with very good things, and sometimes impractical, but yes, it can happen. And we just can't cut it down because thinking that these are young children and they don't know. Like, a lot of things happen when I've seen and I've learned a lot from them, in fact. And we work as co-researchers and encourage collaboration skills. And these are the few courses that I provide online and offline. I've been training online in other countries. And we work a lot on the SDG Goal 16, Peace, Justice and Strong Institutions. So we train on that. And I've seen that for this pedagogy, there's a lot of facilitator mindset that we need to work on. Because the schools look wonderful, everything is there, but what is being implemented, the pillars are the facilitators. So how is their mindset? Now, we work a lot on that. I've trained facilitators. We go back to them again to understand whether they're implementing, and sometimes we see that they've forgotten it all, and again we retrain. So that's all about it. I would like to read this out. The greater goal of humanity should be to live and let live. Peaceful humans strive towards creating an ecosystem that supports a sustainable life and respects every living being. And we, as people working in the domain of early childhood education, can be the best contributors towards shaping such a generation by guiding the little people in the right direction. Thank you. You can reach me at Vasavvi Acharjya.